But if you don't even understand the background behind that, like, you have to start going to office hours the minute you have a problem in chem.
Right.
Or in calc, too, or else you're lost for the rest of it.
Yeah.
I remember literally, like, going into... I signed up, like, for Calc 132, like, the next quarter, and I remember sitting in the first class, and I didn't know what was going on, and I looked at the syllabus, and I was like, I'm not going to understand any of this, because I don't understand anything that happened last quarter.
Yeah.
I dropped that immediately, and it, like, ended up being way better for me, but, like, it is, like, a thing of, like, if you don't even know how to ask the questions of, like, I don't understand this, how are you, like, even going to go to office hours? Like, my chem professor was very... I do have to give her that, like, I went to office hours once to talk about a grade, and, like, she was like, why don't you come to my office hours? And she wasn't, like, doing it accusing, like, she was genuinely concerned. And I was like, I just don't know what to do. And she's like, there's some kids who just come and do their homework, like, in office hours with me. Like, they just sit there, I do my work, they do theirs, and if they have questions, they ask.
I would never think that you would be able to do that.
I couldn't even fathom that because I didn't see anyone doing it. So I was like, you're telling me this, but, like, everyone else isn't doing that. So, like...
Yeah, the people you knew weren't doing that.
So I don't know if I, like, should do that. Like, I'm...
And they never said, you can come do this.
Yeah. It's just, like... Just, you gotta assume that you can. So, like, even now, I'm still, like, trying to figure out office hours. I think I finally got it down with my social professor, which is really good because now I'm like, oh my god, like, I genuinely enjoy this professor, like, I would be friends with him outside of this context.
Yeah.
But, like, if it weren't for, like, mandatory, like, I need to talk to him about this topic, I wouldn't have gone there. And he also made a really conscious effort to also talk to me about just me as a person, which made me feel a lot more comfortable.
Yeah, that's so interesting. Yeah, I feel like there's sort of like, then I guess there's sort of, like, this implicit knowledge that you had to have in order to be able to do well in a class like chem. You had to know that you could, like, go there and do those things.
And other kids just seemed like they knew from, like, it was, like, a catch-up class, right? And we were moving, like, far more quickly than, like, the normal, like, Gen Chem, because we had to catch up to them.
Yeah.
And then get to the same point that they were by the end of the winter quarter. And that's so
interesting. I didn't even know that we had, like, an intro to Gen Chem class. Is that new, or has that always been
I don't know how long it's been. I know there's a fourth year who took that I know.
Okay, so it's not new.
It's not new, but it's definitely, it's one of those classes that, like, it's a really small class. It's literally one section. The teacher does know everyone's name because it's so small. Like, it's held in one of, like, Ken's, like, smaller discussion rooms.
Yeah.
And it's like a catch-up class for people. But, like, that's also with, like, even having that, like, you need to know that you're gonna go into STEM. Like, all the people in that class had the intention of going into STEM because they were gonna go into Gen Chem.
Yeah.
But I was, like, after winter quarter, I was like, no, this is not me.
So you did 2 quarters of it?
I did 2 quarters. Actually, I had decided I wasn't going to do STEM after first quarter because of calc. I couldn't do calc.
Really?
Yeah. I was just like, I don't understand this. I don't know how to do this. Like,
did you do CAP?
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay. That's always so rough because, like, for core tutors, they have, like, a separate CAP tutor for math, which made it so much more accessible to, like, just use that resource, and that's the only reason why I, like, passed calc here. If I hadn't had that, I couldn't, because, like, I would go there and, like, sit there and do homework with someone, and I just wouldn't have understood it. Otherwise, I would have just copied answers from somewhere.
And see, that's what's weird is, like I was planning on doing CAP originally, and then I decided to work over the summer. So, because, like, I'm from Chicago.
Yeah.
I was like, you know, do I really want to be in Hyde Park when all my friends... With a curfew, and, like, my friends are still here.
Yeah.
But, like, my best friend is, the one I met in chem is also, she also did CAP. And, she had, like, the access to, like, the CAP resources, and even then she was, like, struggling. She stuck it out through the second quarter of Cal.
True.
Because she was like, I just want to get over the math requirement. Like, I don't want to do 2 bio topics, which was what I had to end up doing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm, like, still finishing up my bio core. And, but she was still like, this is off. Like, she was dead a lot of... I remember, like, one spring quarter was here, and, like, she didn't have to take any of those, like, well, the only class we had to take that was science related in spring quarter last year was bio, like, core bio. Like, she was, like, a different person.
That's wild.
Yeah, so it's weird.
That's so crazy, like, how much she had to put herself through in order to be able to...
Yeah.
Poor kiddo, but that's really respectable. So were you more interested in studying bio just because you were interested in bio, or were you more interested in studying bio so that you could do what you wanted to do in the future?
I think, like, because it was, like, I don't know, like, I know what I want to do after, I don't know how to get there. Bio was the way that I saw myself getting there, because I did really like the epidemiology that was taught in high school, and I did like the math that I had to do for that. Like, it was all, like, linear regressions and things like that, and I enjoyed doing that. Like, I enjoyed looking at numbers.
Yeah.
I am still a very much, like, number-centered person when it comes to, like, I like doing data. When I learned how to do something, I enjoyed it. So I was like, I can do STEM. Like, this is good. I was so close with my bio teacher that I was like, yeah, I can do this. And I still enjoy bio.
Yeah.
I think, like, when I hear, like, my sorority sisters who are in STEM or something like that, like, I love hearing about what they're doing. Like, one of my sisters was like, oh, like, I'm doing this study with, like, lung surfactants, and I was like, yes, tell me more. Like, I want to understand this.
That's so cute.
So, like, I still love it. I just think that, like, because especially a lot of, like, the STEM, like, prerequisites are also, like, pre-med prerequisites and stuff like that. It's also kind of a leader specifically. Like, they are trying to get kids to drop, and, like, kids did drop. And
why do you think that they try to do that?
I have no idea. I feel like it's so weird. I think it's weird because it's like I know that med school stuff like that, like, when it's a pre-med course, they're always trying to weed, because it's just, like, this history of, like, well, I had to go through this and, like, people dropped, so you have to go through this, and the weak will weed themselves out, which is just a stupid way of doing it. You should be trying to, like, make it not easier, but you should make it, like, survivable.
Right.
And that's like, not the case. It wasn't survivable. And I was, like, I would talk to friends who are not intro to Gen Chem, but Gen Chem. They were, like, also dying.
Yeah.
And it's, like, to the point where I'm, like, talking to people who are continuing with pre-med, like, going through, and I was like, it makes you miserable. Like, why do you want to continue with this? And that was ultimately what got me to stop, like, thinking about bio, is that I did enjoy it, but, like, the classes are making me miserable.
Yeah.
So, like, why would I keep going with that when I could do something that, like, would still challenge me, but not make me sad?
Yeah, no, totally. Yeah. That's so interesting. I find this university to be, like, such an odd place sometimes.
Yeah.
'Cause, like, there's no focus on, like, I feel like in other schools where, like, they're serving, you know, like, historically under-resourced students, they're like, let's try to, like, teach these kids the best we can and, like, get them to realize their dreams. And with a weed out class, like, the mentality is necessarily, like, you're not gonna realize your fucking dream.
Yeah, it's really like that. It's like, okay, then why did I... Like, that's something I was, like, I questioned as I was, like, coming out of it. I was, like, getting out of time, I was like, you guys, like, admissions read my essay. They knew what I wanted to do, and they admitted me, so I was like, yeah, I belong here.
Yeah.
Like, I think I'm very lucky that I was not a student who was like, I don't belong here. But then I was like, but, like, admissions and, like, the actual college administration, like, when it comes to, like, classes and stuff like that, are not communicating, because it's like,
totally.
I got in, and now I don't even want to be here for what I wanted to do.
Right.
Which, like, luckily I'm not, like, someone who, like, that was the only thing that they could even think of.
Right.
Like, I got a hood of stuff, and I was like, I know exactly what I want to do now. So it made it a lot easier for me. But other kids, like, have like actual crises when they do feel like they got weeded out.
I know, yeah. Like kids who like wanted to be a doctor forever or whatever, and then are like, I guess I'm not gonna